There are moments when a thought becomes more than a thought. When a name refuses to leave your mind, when a presence stays even in their absence, when your heart keeps reaching for someone no matter how many times you tell yourself to move on. If this person has been appearing in your mind again and again, this is not random. This is not imagination. This is not longing without meaning. This is a message. A message trying to tell you something that your mind keeps dismissing, but your soul already knows. There is a hidden reason you can't stop thinking about them, and today, you're going to finally understand why. Every time you try to forget, something brings them back. A dream, a song, a memory, an emotion you thought was gone. Even on days when you feel strong, something small pulls you back into their energy. You can feel them when you wake up. You feel them late at night. You feel them in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Something about this connection refuses to fade. And deep down, no matter what happened, no matter the silence, no matter the distance, you can't fully detach. The truth is simple, but powerful, your soul is still reaching for theirs. Before you blame yourself, before you think you're imagining everything, listen carefully. Your thoughts are not happening by mistake. You think about them because a connection like this doesn't disappear. Not with time. Not with distance. Not with silence. Something inside you is still aligned with something inside them. And the reason you can't let go is because a part of them hasn't let go either. There are people who pass through our lives without leaving a trace. But there are others who awaken something ancient, something familiar, something our heart recognizes before our mind can explain. When you met this person, your soul reacted first. Before you understood what was happening. Before you analyzed, before you questioned, before you feared. Something inside you whispered, pay attention. It was never casual. It was never small. It was never meaningless. They touched a part of you that no one else ever reached. Not because of what they said. Not because of what they did. But because something in your energies resonated the moment your paths crossed. You can't stop thinking about them because your soul remembers something your mind is still trying to understand. But there's more. And this part is harder for you to accept. You think about them because they think about you. Your heart picks up signals that your logic ignores. You feel their energy even when they're silent. You sense their hesitation, their fear, their longing, their conflict. You feel the push and pull not because you're imagining it, but because it's real. Souls speak long before words ever do. Even if they've been distant, even if they've acted cold, even if they've tried to forget you, the truth is they haven't succeeded. They feel you in moments of quiet. They think of you when they're alone. They replay conversations. They remember the softness in your voice. They remember how you made them feel seen in ways no one else ever did. You awakened something inside them that they were not prepared to face. That is why they pulled away. Not because they didn't care. Not because the connection wasn't real. But because it was too real. Too deep. Too powerful. You made them confront emotions they were not ready to handle. You reminded them of wounds they never healed. You awakened feelings they were not prepared to navigate. And when someone is afraid, they don't step closer, they step back. But even while stepping back, their soul still leans toward you. You can feel it because you're connected on a level that defies logic. When you suddenly think of them out of nowhere, it's often because they're thinking of you. When you feel a wave of emotion that makes no sense, it's often because it came from them. When their name appears in your mind the moment you wake up, it's because your energy and theirs are still intertwined. Now listen carefully, your thoughts are not chasing them. Your thoughts are answering them. You're picking up what they're silently sending. The reason you think about them so intensely is because part of them is pulling on you, even if they don't realize they're doing it. This is why ignoring the connection never worked. This is why distractions never helped. This is why time hasn't erased anything. The connection is active because both hearts are still involved. There's another truth you need to hear. They are battling something you can't see. A fear they never admitted. A vulnerability they tried to hide. A belief deep inside them that they're not ready, not enough, not healed, not stable enough to offer you what they truly want to offer. They love the way you make them feel, but that feeling also terrifies them. And when someone feels unprepared for a love they know is real, they run, not from you, but from themselves. You can't stop thinking about them because your story with this person is not finished. Something in them hasn't closed this door. Something in you hasn't closed it either. And every time you try to move on, the universe sends reminders, not to torture you, but to guide you. To show you that the connection still breathes. That the energy hasn't died. That something is still unfolding beneath the surface, slowly, quietly, in ways you cannot see yet. There is a hidden purpose behind every thought that returns to them. Not to trap you, not to confuse you, but to prepare you. To help you understand what your heart already knows, this connection is not over. You can't stop thinking about them because the universe is aligning something that requires patience. Something that requires timing. Something that requires growth on both sides. And until that alignment is complete, your soul will continue feeling what your mind cannot yet see. You are not holding on out of weakness. You are holding on because the connection refuses to let go of you. It keeps guiding you gently, softly, insistently, as if saying, stay aware. Stay open. Stay connected in your heart, not your actions. There is a reason you haven't fully released this person. And that reason is not obsession, illusion, or denial. It's resonance. It's alignment. It's the echo of something real that has not finished its chapter. They think of you more often than you realize. They remember the way you brought calm to their chaos, warmth to their doubts, clarity to their confusion. You touched a part of them they believed no one would ever reach. And now they find themselves comparing every connection to you, and nothing matches. No one replicates what you awakened in them. No one replaces the emotional depth they felt with you. They miss the safety. They miss the understanding. They miss the way you saw them without judgment. They want to reach out. They want to break the silence. They want to close the distance. But something keeps holding them back, fear. Fear of being vulnerable. Fear of being rejected. Fear of not being enough. Fear of facing their emotions with you and realizing they can't hide anymore. But no matter how much fear they carry, there is something stronger growing inside them, the longing for you. This longing grows every time they try to distract themselves. Every time they convince themselves they've moved on. Every time they tell themselves to forget. And yet, your presence remains. They feel you in moments of quiet. They feel you in moments of weakness. They feel you in moments of clarity. You're the thought they avoid because you're the feeling they can't escape. And that is why the universe keeps bringing you back into each other's minds. Not to cause pain, but to prepare the space between you. To soften them. To awaken you. To bring both hearts into a place of readiness. You're not thinking about them because you're stuck. You're thinking about them because something is shifting. Something is aligning. Something is pulling both of you closer, slowly and silently. The reason you feel them so deeply is because the connection is mutual. The reason you can't forget them is because they aren't forgetting you. The reason you keep dreaming of them is because they dream of you too. Souls communicate in silence long before words ever return. And right now, your souls are speaking louder than ever. There will come a moment, unexpected, quiet, simple, when everything becomes clear. A message. A sign. A moment of courage. A wave of clarity that breaks through their fear and pushes them into action. They will return not because you waited, not because you hoped, not because you wished, but because their heart cannot live in denial anymore. The connection will call them back. And when that moment arrives, it will feel natural, peaceful, aligned, as if everything finally makes sense. Until then, your only task is to stay open, balanced, and gentle with yourself. You don't need to chase. You don't need to force. You don't need to question your worth. The connection exists with or without effort. What is meant for you is already moving in your direction. And the reason you can't stop thinking about them is because the bond between you is still alive, still active, still unfolding into something real. If this message touched your heart, even for a second, like the videos before it, take a moment to support this channel. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this message today. Your support keeps this space alive and helps these messages reach the hearts that are waiting for them. Now tell me in the comments, do you feel that this connection is still alive? Your answer may help someone who needs to read exactly this today.